No, я готов.
Ну, еще раз здравствуйте, поближе. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Vika. We shoot news in our academy, and thank you for interesting presentation. Now we ask you some questions. First, are you going to continue this story about Sergey and Lucas?
Yes, I am going to continue. I have about 140 pages written right now. The new book is called Shambhala. Mm-hmm. And it is a story about Lucas and Sergey, and mostly about Lucas. Lucas falls in love with a girl named Katya.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Second question. What stereotype about Russian people do Americans have?
Stereotypes about Russians that Americans have: that they are cold personality, character, cold, холодный, и that they are drunk. Пьяный и холодный. That's a characterization, I think.
Did you see film Leviathan?
Which? Какой?
Leviathan. Andrei Звягинцев.
It was Russian nominee for Oscar.
Yes.
What was the name of it?
Leviathan.
I never heard.
It was Oscar nominee.
I never heard of it.
But it lost.
I never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
What was the director?
Russian director Звягинцев.
Звягинцев. Mm-hmm. In Moscow. Mm-hmm. Andrei Petrovich.
Yeah.
Da?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about it. And I would like to find a way to communicate with Andrei Petrovich about Veronica. I just wrote to my partner in Moscow, and I said, I want to meet this guy. And he said, it is impossible. I said, no, it's not. I'm an American. I want to meet him. So, yes, I know this director.
Mm-hmm. What Russian values should we cherish?
I think I spoke about that in the lecture. I think there is a connection between the Russians and the earth, the soil, and the senses. I will say that the Russians have a special relationship to the senses, to the sensuousness, to sensuality, to the earth, to the body, to nature. And I think they should not lose that. They should maintain that. It means that you need to stop looking at computer screens all the time, because this generation, rather than go up into the mountains and, play around in the fields, they would rather sit in front of a computer screen and talk to their virtual friends. And I think that's a loss if you continue to do that.
Are Russian and American students different?
No, not really. Not really. I think I would say generally, I think American college students and university students are. It's hard for me to tell because I have not been around a lot of American students lately. But I find that Russian students are always talking. They're talking. Maybe it's because I'm a foreigner, but I always have to stop them, please, whether it's in a small group or a big auditorium like today. Where I think American students that I remember are a little more respectful. But I think this is something new. Russians are really struggling with who they are existentially. And I think this generation, your generation, is really struggling with this. And I mean, you can't get to the West quick enough. Not necessarily physically, but ideologically, consumer-wise. I mean, I'm looking at the way he's dressed, for example. I mean, this is like, some guy, in, Des Moines, Iowa, or in New York City, or, it's like, hey man, it's cool.
Multicultural.
No, multicultural. Я понимаю, все понятно. But I think multicultural has come to mean one thing. It's come to mean monoculture, Western culture. Multicultural means every culture is invited to participate in our culture. And we're going to wipe out every distinction of cultural distinction and make you all homogenized, like milk. And I think that's a problem. I think that's a real problem. And I don't agree with that.
Мгм. Что? Do you often visit, пишешь? Do you often visit your home country?
Yeah, I go back to the United States at least twice a year. Usually once in the winter and once in the summer. Usually for 5 or 6 weeks. So about 3 months of every year, I'm in the United States. 9 months of the year, I'm in Russia. Not always in Barnaul. I go to Moscow a lot because I have business in Moscow and friends in Moscow. Sometimes I go to Novosibirsk and do things, sometimes Kemerovo. And then I go up into the Altai Mountains in the summer quite a bit now. So.
And do you like Russian cuisine?
Yeah. It's not all Russian, because Russian cuisine is like, you know, like there's Uzbeki, there's, you know, there's Kazakh, there's really a variety of cuisine here, but I like borscht, I like pilmeni, I like vareniki, svorogum, I like vareniki, vishny, yeah. You know, there's a variety of dishes I've had. I mean, I like golubtse, but I think that's Ukrainian, yeah. I like, you know, a variety of Uzbeki's dishes. I like shashlik, I like, you know. So, but I like the cuisine, yeah. I like the cuisine.
Thank you.
Sometimes too much mucha. Flour. Mucha. Слишком много mucha. Sometimes like Monte and pelmeni and varenik, everything, mucha. It's like, basta.
How are things going in your Veronica movie?
Well, the planning for the movie has gone well. We have the screenplay in English and Russian now. We have a producer in New York, a producer in Moscow. We have some consulting assistants in Moscow. We are also meeting with Alexander Borodiansky, who, as you know, has done 40 Russian and Soviet movies, including Afonya and Amerikanski Deutsch, и Белый Tigre. So we're meeting with Borodiansky to bring him into the team as a creative producer. And he's agreed to that, and we will be meeting with him in March to get the details worked out. So we're very excited to have Alexander Borodiansky further involved with our program. He did the synopsis for the screenplay a year ago, and now we're going to bring him back in to help with creative production of the film.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.